Wait a minute. I'm not sure how I feel about this one, y'all. Ford has just filed an application, a patent application that is, that detects drivers such as myself and you, our speed, and maybe even will issue us a ticket or send a cruiser out to us. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am Dave, senior intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, and patents. Now, we're going to take a look at this Yahoo Finance article that talks about Ford's new invention, and then we're going to actually look at the patent application, and I'll break it down, at least look at the claims and see what it is that they're actually trying to protect. Again, the claims are going to define the meat and bounds of the patent application, what they're looking to protect, and is, in my opinion, the most important part of the patent application. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content. Now, seems like the big three, the OEMs, the automakers, are kind of coming out with these inventions left and right that they're filing patent applications on. We talked about GM. We talked about how they filed a patent application that included a vehicle that has a drone. Good luck to the criminals who are trying to escape the police chase that has a drone that's also flying over, keeping track of your whereabouts. We talked about how Chrysler, or Stellantis, formerly known as Chrysler, has a video with the third row seating. It's a little different, not necessarily in these kind of police type cases. I can see with this Ford case, for the Ford police fleet, they are able to essentially kind of track your speed, and to the extent that you're going over the speed limit, issue a ticket, or worst case scenario, send a police cruiser after you, or send police cruisers after you. So you guys have to let me know what you think about that from I guess a privacy standpoint. I know a lot of people have been kind of riled up about the privacy that this thing kind of oversteps. And does it really overstep your privacy? I mean, I know it's not real big here in Michigan, although I guess in some areas it may be. But I know, for example, in Illinois, you have these cameras that are on posts, that are on street lights, street posts, what is it called? The man, what is this thing called that you have? The street light. There you go. Not the street light, but the stop light, stop sign, stop light. That they are actually kind of taking your speed. Are you going too fast through the intersection? Are you stopping at a stop sign? Are you running a red light? They actually take a picture of that, and then to the extent that you are, they'll send you a ticket as a result of that. So they already have these type of devices out there in terms of cameras, kind of taking pictures of our wrongdoing, so to speak, and issuing you a citation or a ticket as a result of it. But this seems to be another level where you have a police cruiser, for example, that, again, we're used to you being on the side of the highway. I'm not talking from personal experience, but you be police being on the side of the highway and you kind of speeding by, and now you're looking back for the next half mile to see if the police caught you doing 80 miles an hour or going above the speed limit, and he pulled out to give you a ticket, or she pulled out to give you a ticket. Again, I'm not speaking from a personal experience, but we know those situations. In those situations, he has actually the radar gun on you, and he's going to clock you. And to the extent that you're over the speed limit, he will or she will come after you. But in this case, they just have to sit there. The car is going to do all the work for them. They're going to track your speed. They're not only going to track your speed, but they're even going to send you, maybe send you a ticket. They're going to capture the image of your vehicle, get some other identifying information of the vehicle, and send you a ticket. Now the police doesn't even have to do anything. All he has to do is be in close proximity to the actual vehicle. And this system, if you will, kind of does everything for himself, from clocking your speed to having some type of identifying information, maybe the license plate, maybe, hey, that dent you had in your car, that rust you had on your car. If you're a dope boy, I'm pretty sure you running on the highway with 26s on your Chevy, the box Chevy that is, and they're going to send that information to the precinct, to some type of, I guess, network that is then going to maybe issue you a ticket. To the extent that you're really breaking the law, they maybe even send police cruisers after you. So we're going to take a look at it here. Again, this is a Yahoo Finance article that I am reading from, that, again, just came out recently, August 1st. So what is today? August 2nd. So this article just came out yesterday. And what does it say? Ford patent details vehicles that detect photograph speeders. Yeah, you guys have to let me know your comments, your comments and your thoughts on this in the comment section. But let's get to going. Back in 2023, reports of a patent quality filed by Ford ruffled a few feathers. The concept was to build features into a vehicle that could be used in the event a driver missed a few payments. When triggered, they could remotely disable certain components, enabling the vehicle to effectively repossess themselves. So again, I actually posted this up on my social media. I didn't do a breakdown or a video like I'm doing with this one, but Ford, maybe a year or so ago, they had this patent application where, to the extent that, hey, I know family members and friends are growing up where they missed that payment. They was dodging a repo, man, left and right. They had it over here one day at mom's garage. They had it over here at the sister garage. They had it over here at auntie them garage. They was dodging a repo, man, to avoid their vehicle from being repossessed. Nowadays, or with this patent application that Ford filed maybe a couple years ago, the car essentially shuts down as well as kind of communicate the information to the garage or to the car dealership and tells you exactly where you are at, but also doesn't allow your car to even move. So now the car is essentially repossessing itself, and it seems like it was an uproar about this. Let me know in the comments if you guys ever experienced your car doing this. I'm not sure if Ford actually implemented it, but it seems like this is what this paragraph is talking about, that Ford had this application that essentially had the car effectively repossess themselves, that people weren't too happy about. Now they're saying reporters with Motor Authority have uncovered a new patent filing from Ford, and something tell us it could be equally controversial. So it seems like people are not going to be happy about this one either. And look, I'm cool with the repo, that technology, because again, I'm paying my car note, I'm paying my lease, so I don't have any issues with that. But to the extent that they're trying to automatically detect whether or not drivers are speeding, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Now, if you're going 90 miles an hour, hey, I'm gonna get them. It irritates me to my core when I'm going 70, maybe 75, and you see somebody just coming speeding by you going 95. I just love to one day the police catches them, and as they're giving them a ticket, I'm rolling by and I'm just looking at them, waving my hand like, so you shouldn't have been speeding. So I'm all for this technology being used to actually go towards those people and catch those people and give them tickets or whatever the case may be. But the average person who maybe is going 75, 77, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But again, essentially this can give you a ticket for all that. So the patent application is titled Systems and Methods for Detecting Speeding Violations. It was published in July. We'll take a look at the application here in a little bit, break down the claim, see what's going on here. It details a speeding violation responder system and how it could use sensors to detect the speed of surrounding vehicles. If found to be traveling in excess of the posted limit, so if you're traveling above the speed limit of 70 miles per hour, for example, the system can activate a camera to take a photo of the vehicle, at which point says the patent a record may be generated. Ford blasted initial reports on the patent, saying some sources had incorrectly indicated that driving data from customer vehicles would be shared with law enforcement. They say that instead, this would be a feature built into police vehicles. Okay, so like I said earlier, more so for police fleet vehicles, automating something via built-in sensors that police are already doing. So it seems like they're saying that, hey, police already are tracking your speed, or the vehicles are already tracking your speed, or at least the police via the radar gun is already tracking your speed. So we're essentially going to help them out. We're going to make it easier on the officers. Hey, it may be a short staff police department. They may not have as many police officers that can kind of do all this stuff. So we're going to help them out by allowing the vehicle to essentially have sensors in it to detect speed around it, and to the extent that it's going over the limit, give you a ticket. What do you think about it? Good idea or not good idea? Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's effectively what this thing is saying. So another variation that the patent does lay out pertains to the way this tech might be used as a supplement to an overt tax police force. I just said that. Outfitting autonomous vehicles with technology could mean patrolling for speeders could be largely outsourced machines. So just think about this. This is essentially what they're saying. Not only do you have no police officer in the vehicle, now you have essentially a vehicle that's driving itself that can give you a ticket without nobody involved, or essentially without nobody driving the vehicle, without nobody clocking your speed, giving you a ticket, capturing some type of identifying feature of the vehicle. Again, license plate, bump, bruise, rust, whatever you have on your vehicle, the tires. And therefore, they're going to send you a ticket. To the extent that you try to dispute it, they're going to send you your vehicle, the image that they have of your vehicle. So, man, hey, it's getting spicy in this joint. So let's move on. Ford also stressed that the patent, like many in the automotive, is intended to protect new ideas and may not mean that Ford has plans to incorporate these speed detectors at all. And this is a good point. So a lot of times, I would probably say majority of the time, when a company or individual files for a patent application, particularly companies, because you typically don't see individuals filing for patent applications without some type of you know, they're planning to implement it. Typically, individuals is more of a kind of a burden to file an application from a cost standpoint. So they're not just filing it for the sake of filing it. However, with bigger companies, think of the Apples and the Microsoft and all those, they have these big R&D budgets. So these big companies have these R&D budgets where they have tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, some billions of dollars that they're spending every year on R&D to continue to be at the forefront from a technology standpoint. So they have to file these patent applications on the technologies that are protected. And sometimes they don't implement it or put it in practice or manufacture it or whatever you want to call it. But sometimes they do. But to the extent that they don't, they at least have the patent protected or a technology or ideal protected such that if they do want to put it in practice, they can at a later date, or at the very least, they can stop someone else from trying to monetize off this ideal or this feature. So that's a lot of times how it works from a strategic standpoint with a company where it's like, okay, we're not necessarily going to put this thing in practice or implement it. However, we're going to have it as part of our portfolio. We can stop others from being able to use this technology or benefiting from this technology. And essentially we have it. So that's kind of how it kind of works in practice, I should say, from a patent attorney perspective. So let's see here. Okay, and while Ford makes some good points, some observers are still skeptical. Motor Authority said it feels that the patent leaves unanswered questions about the limit and scope, meaning law enforcement could be one of many possible use cases. So that's pretty much it. What do you guys think about it? Like I said, I'm not sure if I love the idea. Now I understand that this is already kind of being done in a sense, as far as these cameras that, like I said, on the light posts or street signs or street posts or street lights, and they're actually kind of capturing at least whether you're running a stop sign or running a light or whatever the case may be, and issuing you a ticket as a result of it. But again, this seems to be maybe a whole different aspect of they can effectively have sensors that are kind of detecting the speed of a number of vehicles at one time. And as a result of that, they're issuing a ton of tickets at a single moment, which I guess you can say the police force is benefiting from the extra revenue that they will be getting. But I'm not sure the public at large, if they will be too happy about it. But we have to see what, if they ultimately put this in practice or not. But I do want to, before we wrap up here, I do want to take a look at the patent application. Again, as a patent attorney, I want to give you guys value. And part of me giving you guys value is showing you kind of what to look for when you're looking at a patent application, how to break down the claim section. The claims are the most important part of the patent. So we'll take a look at the claim section. This to the left here, this, I guess, page that you see is the actual patent application. You can tell here that it was just published here a couple of weeks ago, July 18, 2024. Applicant being Ford Global Technologies. You see the inventors here. And then just some pictures of the patent application. We're not going to kind of get off into the pictures in detail. I would imagine that you see here in figure 1, this left vehicle is the police cruiser, for example. This right vehicle is the pedestrian vehicle. And they're communicating with each other via the sensors. And then, based on the information that the police vehicle obtains, it can, over the network, send it to a central system, if you will, to kind of process it, get all the data, obtain the data, and potentially issue citations. So all this kind of can be done automatically without any type of human intervention, which is crazy. To the right here, you see is the claim section. So every patent it's typically, at least in the US, you are allowed 20 claims before you have to start paying additional claim fees. And as you can see here up top here, it says 20 claims. So this Ford patent has 20 claims, and they're typically kind of broken down. And in this case, you have a method claim, which is protecting the method of the invention, but it also has a system claim or a vehicle claim, which you see in here, claim 15, that's protecting essentially the vehicle that has this actual system in it. So again, it's protecting the method as well as the system or the vehicle. And we're going to kind of take a quick look at independent claim 1, which is typically the broadest claim. So it's a standalone claim. You have the dependent claims such as 2. You see the method of claim 1, the method of claim 1. Those are essentially built off of claim 1 or depend from claim 1. But claim 1 is a standalone claim. It's typically a broadest claim, even though one of the other independent claims could be broader. But typically in applications, you see the claim 1 is the broadest independent claim. And let's break it down here. So receiving by a processor in a first vehicle from a first vehicle speed detection system of the first vehicle, a speed measurement associated with the second vehicle. So it's essentially this kind of clause, if you will, is saying, hey, we're receiving a speed measurement. The first vehicle is receiving a speed measurement of a second vehicle. So I'm assuming that the first vehicle is the police cruiser and the second vehicle is a pedestrian cruiser. So the police cruiser is receiving a speed measurement from the second vehicle. Let's go to this next feature. Determining by the processor, based on evaluating the speed measurement, that the speed of the second vehicle exceeds the first threshold speed. So essentially, they're saying, okay, we're getting your speed. Say your speed is 75. The police cruiser is getting the speed of the pedestrian vehicle. Say the pedestrian vehicle speed is 75. They're essentially analyzing that speed and determining whether or not the pedestrian vehicle speed is above a threshold. So say if your threshold is 70 miles per hour, say if the speed limit, which is the first threshold, is 70 miles per hour. However, the pedestrian vehicle is 75 miles per hour. That's essentially what is comparing the pedestrian speed to this threshold speed, which is essentially the speed limit. Going to this third feature, it's receiving by the processor from an image capture system of the first vehicle and image comprising the second vehicle. So now you have your police vehicle is obtaining a speed from the second vehicle or the pedestrian vehicle, analyzing that speed to see whether or not it's above a threshold. And now in this third step, you're essentially using some type of image capturing system of that police cruiser. In other words, a camera of the police cruiser to capture some type of image of the second vehicle. And then the fourth step is determining, based on evaluating the image, the at least first identifying feature in the second vehicle. Okay, so essentially it's determining based on that image, at least a first identifying feature of the image. So you're going to capture that image and then you're going to identify determine an identifying feature of the vehicle. So that identifying feature may be the rims, Bellboy 26-inch rims. Now you're really hot. It may be, okay, this vehicle had a dent on the right side. We may look at the license plate. We may look at the fact that this thing has a custom paint job, some type of identifying feature of that pedestrian vehicle. And then that last step is generating a record comprising the speed, which we got obtained earlier, the image of the second vehicle, and that identifying feature. So essentially, if this claim was allowed, which again, it may be allowed, it's essentially receiving a vehicle. Let me kind of bring it back on myself. You're receiving a speed of a pedestrian vehicle. You are essentially analyzing that speed to see if it's above the speed limit, and you're identifying some type of, what do they call it? A image of that second vehicle. Like I said, maybe the license plate, maybe a dent, maybe the rims, so forth and so on. And then you're generating a report based on the speed, based on the vehicle, based on this identifying feature. So that's essentially the broadest claim. Now the dependent claims will kind of depend or build on that independent claim, but that's essentially what is going on in this claim. You guys have to let me know what you guys think about this patent application from Ford. Do you think if used, it'll do more harm than good? Let me know that. Like I said, it definitely is going to make them more money, generate the police department more revenue, but you may have an outcry in the public as far as, hey, man, we have these vehicles, autonomous vehicles. We have these vehicles. And he didn't even have a radar gun. How you know I was going 80 miles per hour? Were they going to give you that report of this of your vehicle, about an identifying feature? And they're going to say, okay, look at this sensor clocked you at 80 miles per hour. So you can argue all you want, but what they say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So again, they're going to give you the numbers of the report. They're going to give you your vehicle, and it's going to be tough to try to get out of that. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. I think it's crazy, and as somebody who typically follows the law, I'm not sure if I like it. But we understand that technology is it's upon us, and they're going to do everything they can to kind of be able to be as effective with less of the actual kind of human intervention or less of the workforce. Again, to the extent that you are passing a police cruiser, that police cruiser may be taking your speed and you don't even know it. You will know it once you get that ticket, though. Let me know if you guys like this video, if you guys got something out of the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.